right, here's our blog. It does not look that exciting, does it? It's just basically boring as you can possibly want. And this is where you're going to need to start making changes to the blog. I want to give you kind of step one of what I like to do. I'm already logged in because I logged in when I did my last video. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go to the dashboard by clicking on Business Training Dashboard, and it's going to pull up the dashboard. There's a whole bunch of things here I don't want. I'm just going to delete them out and get rid of this information. And then the first thing I like to do is go to plugins. You can decide what plugins you want to use and don't use. For me, I basically don't use any of their standard plugins that come with the system. I don't care for them. They seem to slow the system down. They put a bunch of junk on my windows I don't like, so I just select them all and I deactivate them and I hit apply. Now you've deactivated them, it's going to clean your window up, but I want to make space on my system too. So I'm just going to basically see how all that junk disappeared. Select them and then delete them. You got to deactivate them before you delete them. So that kind of cleans up all the plugins you don't need. Now you're going to install plugins you do need, and I'll go through that process here in a little bit. There's multiple ways to install plugins and themes, but first thing we want to do is go down here to settings, and you want to go to permalinks. The reason why we want to do that is because we want our link to look a certain way. So I like to have it go, your name, domain name, /blog if you have it in a folder, and then the post name. I don't like anything else in there. Okay, just real simple, and we just save that change. That actually works best for SEO as well. Then I like to go over here to reading. And what you're going to do in reading is you'll set your default home page. You'll say static page, and you'll determine the page you want it to go to. In this case, I'm just going to leave it alone because we don't have a static page. But let's say we have a static page where you wanted to go to a static blog post. Okay, you can select those here, and that way it will go to that page itself. That's how WordPress sites look like regular websites. But this is where you'll make those changes when you're ready to do so. Since this is purely the blog and our website's in the root domain, I'm going to leave it the way it is, but that's where you want to make those changes. The final thing you want to do is start looking for themes, because if you remember what our theme looked like, it was kind of boring. Now, it was just this. This is what we got. That's our theme. And you're going to adjust stuff, and there's a lot to learn when it comes to themes. Themes is the most complicated thing you're going to have. But what we're going to do is we're going to come here and go to Add New, because we're going to look for themes. And there's just literally thousands and thousands of free themes you can pick out there. And you can buy themes if you want to spend the money. They have different functionality, and I can spend forever teaching you each theme. So I'm not going to do that. You're going to have to learn how to work with themes yourself. But I might just pick, let's say I pick this one here. I'm going to go ahead and install it. Once it's installed, we activate it. Then we go to our site. We now have this blog theme. It looks a little prettier. Just no content in there. Probably what we would want to do is put logos and change things up. But it's a decent looking theme at least. And you'll want to make sure you change the copyrights and that sort of stuff. But you go in there and you look for your own theme. You can go to theme directories. You can find free themes by the thousands. Or you can buy themes if you want to buy themes because you want to do certain things like a product launch stuff. But anyhow, those are kind of like the very first thing I do with every blog. I go ahead and I get rid of the plugins I don't want, which is most of them. The second thing is I set the permalinks if I wanted to go to a page instead of the blog section. And finally, I just select the theme and I activate the theme. Now you're ready to start setting up the blog internally to do the sort of things you want to do.